Hey guys, Sid here. Welcome to this Hall of Fame interview. And I'm here with Johncey George, who's from Bangalore. He's a leadership coach who works with a lot of introverts to help them scale up in their careers. He works with a lot of mid and senior level management folks. And he's got a community called the Accelerated Leadership Success. In the last 7 months, he's been able to achieve over 4 lakhs by implementing the principles in here. And he has more than 140 paid students in his community. And what an amazing journey, Johncey. Congratulations and welcome to the Hall of Fame. Great to have you here.
Thank you, Sid. Appreciate that.
Yes. So tell us about your background. Like, have you been doing this leadership coaching and training for a long time? What got you into this community? What was the trigger point that got you started on this digital journey with me?
So, Sid, I was in the corporate world for over 2 decades. I was in various corporate leadership positions.
Nice.
So I enjoyed developing leaders, even in my corporate journey.
Okay.
So at that point of time, I myself got coached, and I was very attracted to coaching. And someone recommended a coaching program for me at that point of time, and said, you should sign up and become a coach, and it will help your team. And once I started doing that, I realized that this is something I can do for many people, and that was a trigger when I quit my corporate journey.
Which year was that? Which year did you quit?
That was early 2019.
2019. Okay, it's 2 years now in the game. Awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So I started doing one-to-one coaching at that point of time. But I realized that one of my dreams was always about scaling up.
Yes.
So even while I was quitting, I always had my ambition about scaling up my coaching and speaking practice.
Got it.
That's what triggered the whole journey.
Superb. So 2 years, 2 decades in the corporate world. Did you do any kind of trainings for teams yourself, like behavioral and all the regular stuff that happens for your teams?
Absolutely. At that point of time, I used to train the internal teams of organization. In fact, I used to interview people from colleges, recruit them, train them, and all of them have become leaders in various organizations. And that was a very satisfying moment for me when they become leaders. So yes, I was always having that mindset.
Awesome. So in your corporate journey of 2 decades, at which point did you start to go more into the trainings and coaching side, versus probably in the execution and the regular work that happens?
Yeah. So the trigger was somewhere in 2010, I would say, Siddharth. I am an introvert myself, and one of the complaints, probably one of the several complaints about that introvert nature was, you don't speak up in meetings, or you don't network well, you don't interact with others too often. These were some of the feedback that I used to get. And I was very, very afraid to go on stage and speak. So in 2010, I went through a training program which helped me with my communication skills. And that was the first time when I started, speaking on stage. And then I started training people within the organization. And that was kind of the trigger. Yes.
Wow. So that was 10 years. So 10 years into work, then you realize that you need to evolve and move up. Absolutely. Amazing. So now let's talk about this pivoting point, which was 2019. What was the situation like when you had to make that decision to, okay, enough, I've done this, I've been a corporate, I've worked in the corporate for so long, now I need to do something of my own. What was that experience like for you? Yeah. Especially with all the dynamics, the family dynamics, all of that. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So in 2018, when I went through the coach training program myself, at that point of time, I never thought that I would become an entrepreneur. My objective was all about, helping leaders within the organization. But when I went through the coach training program, I realized that, this is something that would be useful for many people out there. And I started coaching people within the organization. Then I realized that there are several introverts like me, who have high potential, but they are not their potential is not exploited by the organization.
Yes.
So when I started coaching them, I realized that, the mid managers or people who have just joined the organization, there's a lot of potential within them. And that is which triggered me. So when I went through my coach training program, I realized that, this is something that I can do beyond my organization. And that was a trigger point. Even before I got my coach certification program, I quit and said, I'm going to take up this journey. So early
Awesome.
2019 is when I did that.
Got it. So 2019. So you might have done it for a whole year before you came into the community, Internet Lifestyle Hub. So what was that experience like after you came into Internet Lifestyle Hub? The first 3 to 4 months, what was going through your mind? What were the new learnings that you were picking up?
So, Siddharth, I was from a technical background. I'm a software engineer by profession.
Okay.
So I had a good background about various technologies that were available out there, right? But when I came across your webinar and programs, I felt that this was something which is available as a ready platter, in a platter, right? The guidance which you're giving, use this tool or use this approach, use this process. That was like a ready platter for someone, who wants to start this journey. So there was no need to reinvent the wheel. And that is something which has triggered me, and I enjoyed that journey.
Awesome. So that's great. Like for me, I'm always process oriented. Like everything has an SOP, but of course I don't use those terminologies. But everything doesn't standard operating procedure, whether it be webinar or running an ad or recording a video or setting up a website, like everything, and of course all the pieces need to come together. So you being a technologist, were you able to implement all of this on your own?
Yes, I did implement everything on my own.
Okay. How long did that take for you? Like all the technology pieces?
See, I signed up for your program in June 2020. Okay. I launched the program in August 2020, just about 2 months.
So 2 months fast, super fast setting up.
Yeah.
And tell us about that journey. Like, how did you start to acquire the first set of clients? Were you selling one-to-one coaching, or were you selling courses? Like, how did you structure your offers?
So the offers were always one-to-one coaching and some kind of group coaching, which I used to do for introverts. So that was, I used to conduct several batches of group coaching that I used to do from a B2C perspective. Otherwise, I was doing, coaching for the corporate world. But, on a digital platform, it was the first time after I signed up with the Internet Lifestyle.
Okay. When was the first time you got a payment coming in and you felt good about it? Like the first few clients or the payments that started to come in, which was that in the first month itself, you started to get projects?
For this one?
For this model, yeah.
For this model, it was in September itself. I launched in August 2020. And in September itself, I did my first webinar and, I started acquiring my clients.
Fantastic. So even right now, what is your model? Do you do a webinar, and in the webinar, you sell one-to-one coaching? Is that how it goes?
In the webinar, so I have 2 models. One is the one-to-one coaching, and then this group coaching model.
Okay.
That is more digital coaching, I would say.
Yes.
So I do the webinar and I sell my accelerated leadership success for introverts program.
Okay.
Okay. And after that, then to that community, I sell my one-to-one coaching programs.
Got it. So one-to-one is more like the second level. So the first level is group coaching. Second level is one-to-one.
Yes.
Fantastic. And I really like the way that you have used, or you have coined the name of your program for a particular audience. So accelerated leadership success for introverts. That makes it even more specific. So tell us about how you were able to break through the sales part. Like, I'm pretty sure as an introvert, even I'm an introvert, for those of you who do not know, but I had to break through that resistance that I had when it comes to asking people for money, versus what I used to do before. So did you have any of that resistance when it comes to doing the sales pitch and giving the offer and putting the timer and things like that?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes. How did you break through?
I've not come from a sales background. As I said, I've come from a technology background. And I've never done sales or marketing in my career. And even in 2019, when I started, that was the first time I got exposed to the whole sales and marketing world. Having said that, I am a lifelong learner. So one thing I definitely did was, I signed up with the Harvard program.
Yes.
I've also done Lair Singer's program, the
Excellent.
Sasagyan programs I did.
Mm.
So I was part of that journey, and I acquired my sales and marketing skills through those programs. So that is something which I did right from the beginning. And I realized one thing is that, you will have a great product, but we need to market it and we need to sell it. So marketing is very, very important. And prior to marketing, the branding part of it.
Yes.
So even when I quit the organization, the first thing I did was to sign up with a brand consultant and also get ready with my website. That's the first thing I did, in fact.
Fantastic. So just to recap, branding, then the marketing, the sales process. So right now you're comfortable selling your products. I mean, that's why you're here in the Hall of Fame. Absolutely. But yes, you're going through that flow and giving the offer. That's such an important skill to acquire.
Absolutely.
What message do you have for corporate professionals just like you? Many may be watching this video. Even in my community, there are many of them who are probably in the corporate world right now. They're looking to transition. They're in the mid and senior level management, or they're looking to start something of their own. Is there any pointers and tips that you want to give them before making that jump or taking that leap? Any points that you want to share?
One thing is that, we need to understand our target market quite well. That is very important. Once we understand our target market, the second thing is about, personal branding. We need to ensure that, we brand ourselves well. We need to put ourselves out there, and all the digital platforms now help us with that.
Yes.
But, acquiring the skills of sales and marketing is very, very important. And the programs like this, which you are running, the other programs which I've gone through, which I've mentioned, all those will help you in getting to that level where you can sell comfortably.
Yes.
But understanding the target market and branding as well, because people buy you first before they buy your product or service.
True.
So from that perspective, it is very important to have a personal brand. And I'm quite active in LinkedIn, and that is where my target community is. So I'm quite active over there.
Super. Great to know. So just to recap, number one is you need to know who you want to serve. You need to brand yourself. And 3, you need to go through this journey of learning, like how you went through, and acquire the new skills. And probably like you need to shift your mindset from, the typical going 9 to 5, 9 to 6 and coming back home. And now there's a whole different set of things that you need to do, to make it work.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So another question that I have for you is like, what is your vision for the next year? Now that you've got this momentum going, you've achieved a good financial result within a short span of time, just applying these principles. Where do you see yourself scaling the next 1 year, 3 years? What have you planned for yourself?
My target is to touch 1 million lives by Jan 2025. That's the goal which I have set. For the next 1 year, I'm looking at how I can introduce a level 2 program into this for scaling up.
Got it.
For that, what I've done as a background is for the last 2 years, because of the one-to-ones which I have done. So I've got a very good idea about the kind of challenges people are facing with my target audience. So that would kind of help me customize a program or develop a program for level 2 before I get into level 3. Currently, my level 2 is 1-to-1.
Yes.
So I want to introduce one program in between. So that is the work which I am doing. So developing that program is one of my goals for the year, and work towards, step by step, work towards that million target.
Fantastic. I'm sure you'll reach there with by being connected in this community. So other question to you here is like, what have been the top 3 big takeaways that you've got personally after coming into this Internet Lifestyle Hub? You might have learned from various places, various things, but what do you find unique to this community which has impacted you and your business?
The first thing is we need to have a process for going about with this, right? And ILH gives you that process also. for you to go through this journey.
Yes.
So having somebody guide you for that process is very, very critical. It's very tough to find someone who has gone through that journey and be able to guide you. So that is something, Siddharth, which you offer through the ILH platform.
Thank you. Yeah. So the process.
The process is the first one. Next, then once you learn the process, you also need to implement it. So taking action is very critical. So I also know that, and I have gone through your process. So there are several different steps you prescribe and you suggest for taking actions, how to work towards your goals. So taking action and taking massive action, I would say, is very, very critical. That is step number 2. And the step number 3 is, like we said earlier, creating a brand for yourself.
Yes.
Creating a personal brand is very, very critical in this kind of a model, in this kind of a digital coaching model also, as a coach also. So that is very, very critical. So these are the key 3 things I would say.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So all of you here, if you are inspired by this interview, which I've just done with Johncey, if you're somebody in the corporate world, you want to really get started into coaching, training people, just model this journey that he has gone through, and you don't have to really, go reinvent the wheel, as I love to say that there is a system, there is a way to go about it, and keep learning and start growing. So if you want to know more about what Johncey does, and if you are in the corporate world, you want to looking at upskilling yourself, if you're an introvert, in my YouTube channel description, there's a link to his website. Go check it out and see if you can benefit from that. And if you'd like to be a part of this community, the Internet Lifestyle Hub, we are one of the fastest growing communities for experts, trainers, coaches. Jump into the bandwagon, go to sidz.co, sidz.co/join, and you can get started today itself. In fact, Johncey, I would like you to just let people know, there are many people who would be watching these videos. They might have attended the my webinars, and probably sitting on the fence thinking, okay, I'm not sure if I'm confident. I'm not sure if I can do this. What message do you have for such people who are still not sure?
So definitely this program will help you. In fact, there was somebody, it's funny, there's somebody who has come to my coaching program, talking to me about becoming a digital coach. I have referred that person to Siddharth's community. That's what I did, because I felt that, this particular process is what he wanted at that point of time. So anybody who wants to get into digital coaching, this is an absolutely great platform and a program which you can believe in. Of course, everything needs to have action followed up with that, right? Massive action is important, but you are getting something in the platter, as I said. Take that. Don't even think twice about it. You can sign up for this program and you will benefit hugely from this program for sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Johncey, for that. The last question is a question I like to ask everyone who are in the Hall of Fame, which is the one thing. So if you have to bring it down to one success principle that you live by and you continue to live by for the rest of your life, based on all that you've learned, all your life experiences, what is your one success principle that you would like to share?
Get results for your coaches. Get results for your coaches. That is a critical thing. Whatever program you are running, you might do a one-to-one program, you might run a group coaching program. The coaches need to find results, right? They need to ensure that they get those results. So do everything possible to ensure that your coaches get results. That is one advice I have.
Thank you. Thank you, Johncey, for that reminder. It is not about how much knowledge you have. It's about delivering the result at the end for your students and for your coaches. Thank you for that reminder, Johncey. So those of you who are inspired by this interview, please hit that like button and share your comments below. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching this on Facebook, tag a friend or tag a family member who needs to watch this and get inspired, and maybe share it forward and pay it forward. Yeah, thank you so much. So once again, Johncey, congratulations on this milestone. Looking forward to seeing you achieve the next milestone, which is the Crore Club. I'm pretty sure you'll get there really fast. And may you inspire thousands of professionals who are introverts who need that support from you. Wish you all the best. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sid. Appreciate that.